Okay, I think we're live. Maybe. I think we're live. Okay. Oh shoot. Oh, lost the game. There we go. All right. Hello everybody. I am Conquering History Games, and welcome to live stream number 12 of my of my Black League campaign. Good to see you all. So I'm just trying to actually set up the alert thing on the OBS, like the sample goal, I should say. Okay, it must be in month. Okay. Alright. Show the widget. Okay, copy that. Hold on, I'm trying to add a new alert thing. Add... I don't know, would it be window capture? Oh shit. No. Add... Hold on. Image, maybe? Image file. No, cancel that. Hold on, guys. We're going to disconnect. On reconnect. Oh, is it not reconnecting? Okay. Okay, I think we're back on. All right. Well, hello everybody. Icaric, Potato Man, Hugh Todd, NPC Porky, Boxlord, and Hermes. So what I was just trying to set up was like a little bit more annoying than I thought it would be. Was just a goal here. So I was just wanting to announce that I'm going to try to make it a goal to... I'm trying to get my Patreon numbers up. So that I have to worry less about YouTube's ad policies and stuff. As some of you probably saw on my community tab recently, I actually got a video deleted because YouTube said it was hate speech, and I, appealed it and said, would you care to tell me what exactly was hate speech? And they said, they told me to fuck off and deleted it. So yeah, I'm now officially a gamer. So, yeah, I've got a Patreon thing open. You can find the link in the description below. If you become a Patreon, you're going to be able to... Yeah, the YouTube memberships is something I'm going to look into as well. Yeah, basically if you become a patron, or maybe I'll do something where it's like if you're a patron or a member... you'll be able to vote on things. I need to look more into the membership thing though myself before I set that up. I'm fresh to it. But also, Yeah, so you'll basically be able to vote on what is the next game you guys want me to pre-record, because I haven't been able to. I haven't put any pre-recorded stuff since my Mexico campaign. What else was I gonna say? And if you become a patron that sustains for at least $5 a month, you will be put in line for the return of guides on the channel. Actually, was just going through my messages on Patreon before this stream. It doesn't look like I have any backlogged. I was going back to messages from as far back as 2019. I wasn't seeing anything. So like I don't have anything backlogged. But yeah, I just wanted to set up something. Because I'm going to be returning to doing guides in mid-January 2022. So anyway, how about we get back to the game? I'm going to really encourage you all to want to support me with my continued shameful display as the Black League. So we've lost some production units apparently compared to last month. We're just going to have to deal with it. Alright, Weapons of National Vengeance are done. Let's keep going down here. I think we want to do the Atomic Age. Black League dares to attack us. We can retaliate. The League can take the fight to their eternal city. There's only one aspect for which they have no answer. The atomic bomb. We have to ensure the inevitability of mutually ensured destruction. Okay. We're assembling the Redoubt in Alps, which of course is going to be the really big one. And I think we can't quite take everything on the menu, but let's grab that because that one's going to take the longest, and we'll also get this, and that's that. Weapons of National Vengeance. To truly understand the task before us to stare down death and defeat the shadow, the German will use every weapon imaginable against us. When the great trial arrives, we shall be ready. We must be ready. These weapons of national vengeance will bring forth the fury of every Russian mother who lost their son, every father who saw his home and land destroyed, and every soldier who, despite their greatest efforts, saw their nation fall to ruin. We will bring home the devastation the Germans have wrought upon our land. They have sowed the wind, let them reap the whirlwind. Any concerns from high-level department lead researchers or higher officials should be directed to Glavnor Vikyazov directly. We may find our salvation in the mud. Oh, hey, Pen Kitten. I'm using the new tank designer to make historical tanks, and I have to say, damn, Germany got a lot of tanks. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Some better than others. Making tanks during World War II was not exactly Porsche's finest hour, for example. Did you guys ever hear about that that museum in Finland that ended up getting a bunch of money from Japanese what is this? Oh, thank you very much for the super chat. YouTube says we get every excuse to demonetize you. Well, that's how it be. Has TNO updated for Barbarossa and NSB? Not as far as I know. Maybe I was getting some pings on Discord over the from different Discords that I'm part of regarding following certain mods that, like, you know, they're basically saying Merry Christmas, we've updated, but I didn't check what they are because besides I'm not going to update anyway until I'm done with this campaign, so we need to at the very least unify Russia first, and then I'll look into updating. The damp and drizzly night hung low over Archangel as the city lights reflected off the lookouts to bathe the world in a stale salmon glow of undarkness. The world was silent, save the soft sounds of distant police sirens. Mister back to the staff car. Comrade soldier, come on, we'll take you home. Alright. Can't even say fuck to send a donation. This is so stupid. Well, you know what, it can be frustrating, but then there's times I'm reminded these are perhaps the things that keep a YouTube becoming Twitch at bay. Alright, so it looks like, yeah, Zeppelin has officially united the East. Yeah. A lot of mods still have to update. Yeah, I know. Well, we knew it was going to be a while. That was always going to be the game. Alright, time for the production units. Oh my god! Our nation has 1,033 production units available? Holy shit, that can't possibly be right. Or is it just because I finished coring everything? No, you got censored, Mad Beast Yeti. Yeah, just you got filtered. Sorry to say. Okay, this is clearly some sort of bug, I think. Oh, it's because we don't have the grid power. Okay, so I guess the West was building factories, but they weren't building grid power or something. Very strange. Let's see here. Pick the trade screen. Production, still got his poor credit rating. We're getting... Oh, it's all from trade. So people are just buying crap from us. Huh. $1,000 is not normal. So... We're exporting, like, all the freaking aluminum in the world. Or the steel, or this is steel I meant. Yeah, okay. So if we look at our resource screen, yeah, we're exporting over 10,000 steel a week. All right, so not what it's supposed to be, I think. Although wait, this is saying it's the aluminum that we're messing around with. The factories, they make slurs. Wait, slur factory. Slur factory, I heard that term somewhere. Oh, I remember, it was some shit a friend was telling me about. That's the whole thing. I guess let's hit auto balance, maybe? How do I fix this? Got 1,000 production units when I'm not supposed to. Who needs civilian industry when you can max export steel to fund the Great Tile? Yeah, okay, so primary objective of atomic weaponry is not merely the destruction of buildings and inhabitants, but to render economic activity unviable for an extended period. A genuine nuclear reaction is not necessary for such an event. Merely spreading radioactive fallout is good enough. These radiological dispersive devices will do exactly like that. A conventional bomb would not, but Yazov says, nonsense, a conventional bomb would not spread the radiation nearly as far as a nuclear bomb, would it not? You're correct, even the largest conventional weapons would not have the truly desired effect. However, there are a couple of advantages to these dirty bombs. One, they are easy to make, so we can target more cities. Two, they can be smaller than real nuclear devices, small enough to be carried by a dedicated agent to a population center. Furthermore, effects of radiation may not be significant past a few kilometers, but the people of Germany will not know that, nor will they believe their government when they tell them so. So weapons of vengeance strike at the heart, others strike at the brain. Radioactive material will be transferred. Okay, so instead of making full-blown nuke bombs... Whoa, did Khan just pop out here? Savlin is a Bucharanist. He believes in Bucharanismo. Think clearly the advanced industry. For the support equipment. Max that out. I'm not sure you can fix it since the AI is buying it from you. The TT trade system's kind of racked. Yeah. Crisis in Nanjing! Beijing will survive! Alright, let's set our next readout up. We are losing political power every day because we are still integrating everything for the next couple of weeks. Waiting for Juan Perón to die. That also got filtered. Yeah. Oh, well, we're freezing up. Oh, it's just because it's the beginning of the month. Yeah, Juan Perón is still there. Still trucking along. And the army goes trucking along, 'cause it's high heat. Uh-huh. The new deal of sea farming cartels can make even killing the Benelux as Germany a pain. You're gonna trade up on some vanilla, Vice President? Yeah, oh yeah, like, you know, I know that I don't play vanilla. I don't think I've played vanilla since they did the Spain Civil War DLC. But, I'm a believer in that, everybody should at least learn how to play on vanilla first before you mod, so you get the base experience. What's happening in Belarus? Who knows, man? Who knows? DT makes the timer run so slow. Maybe you should use debug smooth on console commands. Maybe. What does debug smooth do? Or I guess that's... I'm trying to remember what debug smooth does. Let's see here. Debugging console. Right. My finger slipped. Imagine having to fully supply my whole army every second just in me. Like, oh my god, I have to give food to the soldiers every day? Fuck! You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Increases speed but lags your game. I'm going to look it up exactly what this does. Debug smooth enables or disables frame smoothing. Okay. Well, I'm looking it up. I'm not seeing anybody saying it's a problem, so let's try it. Let's see how much it's gonna do. Oh my god, look at it go! Damn, can you imagine doing this on Equestria at War? Because Equestria at War famously runs fast. Just type debug smooth on there and then just... Yeah. Oh, off to the races. Alright. I joined the series, fuck me. Even the chat started going faster when I said debug smooth. Goering failed because America and him threw hands at one another. Johnson had bigger hands. That's pretty funny. Yes, I like this. I was gonna look for frickin' something else here. Boom. Yeah, Sniff. Yeah, exactly. Is this still a playthrough? LBJ stole Germany and Japan's lunch money? Yes, I think so it is. Alright, we got some new decisions available. We could approach the Emigre scientists. Increases the theoretical development. I think we can wait on that. So we're making the monthly progress anyway. How are our research facilities, which we're going to be able to improve here? I think we're already maxed out. No, we're only at modern. Oh, and then we hit politicized academia, which is that weird one where it's actually makes it worse for a little bit. Where is it? 3-5. Nisrala. Alright, we're gonna consult here with Ovchinnikov. Random exposure. Nerve gases can kill within minutes, far beyond the scope of the old mustard gases and the like housed within the bowels of the old Komi Republic. Agents that can defoliate entire forests if the formula is correct. League shall provide test subjects as materials for feedback of the potency of the chemical agents. These would come from the worst of society. Bandits, criminals, and murderers of the lowest sort. The Glavka Verko would do Russia service in ridding these elements. Ovchinnikov would be pleased. No more rats, only men. Does America have Hawaii back? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Johnson's been on a roll. What? As I will show you here. Yeah, as you see there. Oh geez. Yeah, so they got Hawaii back in the ports. The Sixth Circle. Major Ochiakinov, before he gets cut off. Oh, so this is me speaking. I'm here. No need, Glevernak. It's perfect. No, Glekoverk. It's perfectly natural to feel revulsion when you look at what we're doing here. Interjected. Nice frames. The frames are going faster than usual. Anyway. Interjected Major Yuri Ov. I'm gonna call him Ovi. Opening a door for his guest. It's certainly not the most civilized operation sometimes. He glanced back at Yazov briefly as they entered a long windowed hallway before continuing. Block 5 is our most advanced facility, explained the Major. Yazov glanced down this line of windows and his stomach seized up instinctively. On the other side were, in various states of deterioration, the husks of human beings. A gaunt man splayed across a cot with horrible lesions covering his skin. A feverish woman huddled in the corner of her cell. A crumpled up rag of a person crouched on the floor, coughing helplessly. His bloody... Yazov had to look away. His host continued his narration. There were several cells, for instance, for the testing of a hemorrhagic smallpox strain, codenamed India, obtained from an anonymous seller. His team had been slowly breeding the virus to be resistant to almost every antibiotic available in Russia. Upon mentioning this fact, Ovi had turned to Yazov and, like a schoolboy telling a prurient joke to a friend, had suggested with a smirk that the medical aid being sought abroad might come in handy for this. Then he directed Yazov's attention to a darkened room at the end of the hall, turning on the light to reveal a nearly skeletal man, hunched over an exercise bike of some kind. This man, as the Major explained, was being used to test the efficacy of pathogens on soldiers in combat. Having been infected, lengthy stinks on the bike simulated physical strain, while the psychological stress was replicated by firing live rounds over his head at random intervals. The Major waited for Yazov to comment, but was met with only silence. Yazov wanted to be proud. He just felt empty. Alright, they got Malay and the Philippines. War in Indonesia is happening at the same time. They'll offend Germany and Israel, so America lost Indonesia. Yeah. Chemical weapons are a special kind of disgusting. Yeah. Alright, I think it's fourth thesis time. Dostov Zaprekin! Wait, no, we have to complete the focus warnings from within. Which one's that? Oh, so here. Certain unfortunate rumors will be investigated. Certain rumors, eh? Alright. Next up, we were going to issue research grants. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Alright, got another research slot available. Yeah, this is really helping us speed through the calendar year as long as we're not actually moving the mouse around and stuff. Thing is, we have to do that. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. One, indivisible and invincible. All heroes of Russia assembled here today. Oh, whoa, okay, hold on a sec. So, we got some news here. Long live the reclamation government. So, news has come from a declaration from Western Siberia. A reclamation government has been formed by the Black League to reclaim Russian territory from those it seems unworthy or traitorous to the Russian people. Their successes so far have shown them to be a powerful military force. Led by Dmitry Yazov, the reclamation government has made many promises to the Russian people. Oh yeah, now we can finally help with the poverty rate. The most significant of which is a return to democracy after reunification or strengthening of Russia. Whether he is Cincinnatus or Caesar, Yazov certainly now has the power of a military dictator and appears to have cemented his rule. It remains to be seen whether this military state can last, whether Yazov can keep the reins steady. Onward to victory. Why is this so laggy? It's because I'm using the debug smooth console command, so as long as I don't move, the calendar moves really quickly, but it messes with the frame rate, so it becomes kind of temporarily laggy. But did you hear that, guys? We're gonna get some democracy going on. One at a time. It's for me to decide. Surely there's work to do. He's only 16. Surely there's some work he could do. 16 in Omsk actually meant. If he were not 16, I might be able to assign him to an industrial cadre, rather than a youth cadre. Do you understand me? The mother watched as his sunken face turned towards her. There was very little to indicate any change in expression, except that the corner of his lifeless eyes seemed to twitch, and there was a turn in his stubbled right cheek. Yes, he is 18. So she's trying to find him some work that's away from the front lines. I see. You are being assigned to Cadre 603481 in Luzino. Your son will be assigned to Cadre 704821 in Yekaterinburg. Do not pack anything. You will be transported tomorrow. Say whatever goodbyes you need to. It is unlikely you will see anyone here again. Surely he could stay with me until... Do not test the limits of my patience. You will find them short. I feel that they got this backwards. Like, why would the kids go to the... So it's like, if he was 16, he'd go to the front line. If he's 18, he'd get an industrial job? I guess because it's easier to learn to shoot a gun when you're younger than it is, like, you know, it helps, whereas it helps to be older if you need to learn how to operate industrial equipment or something like that. I don't know. The point is, the guy was like helping the mother out. Felt a little sympathy for her. All right, let's approach the emigres. All right, we're getting that grid power by the hour. Sounds like a pretty even Cold War right now. Only Germany's on the back foot. The Black League's coming in. There'll be a fourth power again to replace Italy. Yep. Alright. We're already in April, and we started the stream in December, I think, so... Clicking along. Oh, we got the better research facilities. Alright, so now, it's actually kind of good that this is done before we're done with the research grants or whatever, so now our research stuff will start to improve even faster. Because Oh, no, it jumped over to cutting edge. So cool, we didn't have to go through politicized stuff. Oh, so then we didn't really need that other thing. But no, it's good. It's a net good. It's a net good. They're using kids as soldiers. The 18-year-old's too late to train. Okay. I could see that. It's like, you know, he's too old to completely indoctrinate. Come down here. Yeah, wow, that frame rate, it's not pretty. But that we're already in May, and just a second ago I was saying we're in April. That's very pretty. Alright, contacts in Moscow and escalate Potemkin. World thinks of us as a let's say we're gonna invite an American crew in to show that we're making our country strong. So I think this is the event where the American president, like, from their point of view, it's gonna say that we're like despotic or whatever instead of ultra-militarists. Honestly, there's not much difference between 16 and 18. Yeah. No. Yeah, I get it. So, I ended up being near that used bookstore today that I go to a lot. Didn't pick up any biographies or stuff, but I was kind of flipping through, and there was some that I was thinking about, but I didn't. But something that I realized is, it was after I left, I kind of thought, well, that's just kind of how it's going to have to be. You know how I was saying, like, I wouldn't want to ever, with, like, rare exceptions, get any biographies of presidents who are still alive? Like, yeah, I got Destiny and Power. That was written when Bush was still alive, but he was already out of the public view. So was Jimmy Carter with his, the one that came out last year. But there really is always going to be some sort of bias, which is true of any biography of history book. Okay, the Americans just rejected us. Johnson doesn't want anything to do with us. It's clear Johnson is a German sympathizer. Boy, what's that dark blue? Is that all that's left of the conservatives? Conservative democracy's down to 1%. The Democratic branch of the Republican Democrats is dead. Because remember, in this world, Lyndon Johnson is a Republican. Wow. Johnson's not a sucker. Yeah. But the, anyway, Boxlord, I'm about to time you out. You have been just being such a jackass. Yes, Johnsonissimo. First in. New identity card. He'd been charged to signal back any information he could find about vulnerabilities. Group disposals. Work in the shadow to serve the light. So, yeah, we sent a, I want to say, 28-year-old. Yeah, so we're, his ID already expired 2 years ago. That's not a very good, fake ID. But yeah, so we got spies in there. Oh, Germany is gonna get an event. Let's see what that's about. Hold on. Let's see. Germany gets event. That's very interesting. They all moved over to Authoritaire. Yeah, Johnson in this run told the Dems to suck it. Well, they kind of told the Dems to suck it in real life, or at least the Dixiecrats. So let's see. Tag Germ. I just want to see what their event's going to be here. Okay, dusk approaches the new order. Yeah, whatever. Let's see this event. 28-year-old spy with an expired ID. Bold strategy, Cotton. First out. So this is in response to the spies being put into Moscow. Yuri crawled through the swamp, his hands filthy, his eyes half closed to stop the mud from splashing in. He heard the dogs howling and barking after him. Heard the German voices yelling to each other, getting closer. Just a few days ago, he had been transmitting data about the local garrison from his airdropped comms unit. Whether there was a rat in the town or whether his transmissions had been intercepted was irrelevant at this point. What mattered was that he was screwed. It was there in the muck that he decided he would die here. He knew what the Germans would do to him if they captured him. The manuals he had been given told one story, but his comrades in the unit told of far worse fates that awaited him. But he would choose to die on his own soil, his nation's soil. And one day there would be tanks running through this swamp, throwing these arrogant Germans off the ground that he would make sacred. He looked at the small pill he had been given in case of emergencies. It was time. He crawled to a deep pond, took a last breath, and bit down. So then Germany loses political power off that. That is so interesting. So it's like they caught the spy, but he had already gotten some stuff done already. That's interesting, though. Anyway. Let's get back to it. Cotton. Alright. Just waiting to load up here. I see even a world where Axis wins Northern Ireland decides to be the problem. Yeah. Alright, so let's carry on. Carry on. First draft. Operation Chernobog. Land known as Moscow is lost to us, too polluted by Germanic settlers to ever be fully reclaimed. As such, it will serve as the staging ground for the opening phases of the Great Trial. We'll do a series of devastating terrorist attacks centered on Moscow, and the Huns will be military crippled and divided before the trial has even begun. Alright. What's the plan now that Johnson told you to pound sand, snow in this case? Yeah, just carry on the trial. We'll carry on. Except in a Russian accent, you know. We'll carry on. 24,000 production units. They're just sucking up that steel. Alright. Look at history. If there's a problem for Ireland, it's a problem for the UK. That nice juicy black steel. Yeah. Always been on black. Latvia, Estonia, and Belarus are so mangled. Well, I'm done with them. Sovereign seduced the U.S. with his Bucharinist policies of attracting Disney investments. Okay. Kazakhstan's weird. Yeah, Kazakhstan's getting a little strange. General outline. Yeah, it's just saying, you know, we're gonna do terrorism. We're gonna do a heckin' terrorism, and we got some land doctrine research bonuses, but we can finally do rumors from within, so we can continue on with the fourth thesis. There are rumors, vile, detestable, treasonous rumors about Dmitry Karbyshev's death. These rumors claim that the founder of the All-Russian Black League, the man who was the first to recognize the strength we would need for the Great Trial, did not piss away from old age, but rather killed himself. These rumors must be false. Our leader has never had reason to do such a horrible thing. We must track down the source of these foul rulers and deal with them. What's up, Caesar? Oh, I have to do one or the other of these. Right. Let's see. Over here is like military professionalism boost, but we've already done that. So I guess we'll do societal readouts. We live in a society readouts. People will complain, they will adjust and appreciate. Let's get another one of these up and running, the readouts. I think we'd also go back and still do the others, but I want to get that other thing done ASAP so we can continue on with the nuke stuff. Wait, no, not that. Over here, take that. What's the land doctrine I've been doing? Okay, let's go here. Terrorism has to wait, damn it. So how many divisions do these guys have? 30 to 40. Or yeah, we're gonna whoop their ass pretty easy. How long has Kazakhstan been in a civil war? Oh, geez. Let's see. Let's check in the global conflicts. That would be display. It doesn't say when it started, but Akatobe, it's pretty one-sided. Akatobe's only taken 120 losses. We do a little tri-land. That's a good one. These new bunkers will ensure that nothing, not even the power of the atom, can stop us in our quest for vengeance. Russia will survive, no matter what comes. Oy. Oh, what I was going to say earlier about presidential biographies is, yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, when it comes to the lesser-known presidents, you're only going to get a book written by somebody who's a fanboy or girl of theirs. So, for example, I saw this book on Calvin Coolidge, a biography on him, and I ended up not getting it, but I wish I had. But, like, it was like, written by the head of like the Calvin Coolidge Institute or something, and I was just kind of flipping through it, and yeah, it was just total fangirling, like, oh my gosh, he was like the second Theodore Roosevelt, and he was incredible. Yazov is trying to copy Hoxa. But I wish I had gotten it. It was gonna run like $7. Alright, here we go. Finally, warnings from within. But I'll tell you, it's hard to find a decent Reagan biography. Okay, blueprint for Armageddon. Let's see, they're looking at the bunkers. Okay, it's basically saying the bunker, I think I'm saying they're like 22 kilometers wide each or something. Oh, have I not? I haven't been using my civilian factories. That's a heckin' dummy move. Dummy. Get that up and running. We need more hospitals. Gosh, we need a lot more hospitals. That's a start. Warnings from within. We observed the mines. There had always been rumors about Kardashev's death. They were always intentionally kept from Yazov. Who knows how he might react when he learned the truth. It is better for him not to find out that the one man he can count on did what he did. But then, one swaying miner turned all their plans to dust. I'm sorry for the loss of Comrade Kardashev, Yazov. Such a terrible way to go. My uncle was a guard and saw him as he walked out to die. I am unsure what you mean, comrade. Well, comrades, I'm sure you know he had simply had enough, and thought it was time. Thought he should go. Shockingly, the miners around him began to nod in assent. Yazov's breathing accelerated. The aides behind him now drew their fingers across their throats at the miners, put a finger to their lips. It was far too late. Good God, he knows. It was truly amazing that Yazov managed to keep an even tone. The aides could not see the twisted look of anger and deep sadness on his face when he said, I have questions. Come with us. Catch the Tatar, wherever he is. Reagan, it's hard. It's usually people who love or hate him. It's hard to find a neutral one. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. So now the fourth thesis: the end of the long, winding road nears, and at that end lies our final vengeance. Yeah. So I just accepted that it's like if I'm gonna try to have a biography of every president, I'm gonna have to accept that there's gonna be bias, like perhaps even extreme bias. In their favor, and like because I want to mostly, I have some multi-volume works for presidents. Like I've got all the Robert Caro, Lyndon Johnson books, and I've got the Edmund Morris, excuse me, Roosevelt trilogy. I saw a freaking let's see. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, Matt Yeti. Talking about lesser known political figures, I'm excited for the new TNO update because they're going to add a candidate tree and include a Socred path, which impressed me. They're going to go into that detail. Yeah, nice. That is cool. So we can get a Trudeau, play a little Trudeau, make a little love, read fanfic tonight. Read fanfic tonight. But thank you very, very much for the super chat. Always appreciated. Yazov's mind was not his own. Verbal shrapnel rebounded in his head endlessly, cutting any semblance of a coherent thought into ribbons as he paced his darkened office alone. He relived the moment for the 1000th time, repeating what that damn miner had asked him. How he had angrily demanded clarification as his entourage looked on in horror. How the miner had continued, saying some relative of his was on duty that night and had seen it happen, his comrades agreeing. Men were dead now. But he couldn't kill their words. So he killed the people who spilled the beans. Words eating away at his mind like a corrosive poison. He had to know. Another day, Karbashev's old Tatar aide caught in Tumen, regarding the Glavy with pity even as he languished in his manacles. Yazov remembered how he had stood up, ramrod straight, staring down at the prostrate yet defiant man from mere feet away, and how the man had nonchalantly told him how it was all true. He wanted to go out on his own terms, the Tatar had said. He decided to embrace the inevitable. He had taken control, the Tatar had added, mocking Yazov. Again, the man was now gone. But, even without their vessel, the accursed words still fluttered about, haunting him. Confidence was now draining away, being replaced by a growing shame that he was letting this hound him at all. Great trial awaited, he told himself. He had greater things to deal with, a greater mark to leave on history. The inevitable. Yazov's mind crystallized into absolute clarity. The conclusion was simple, the logic plain. Just as Karbashev had seen the inevitability of death and thus embraced it on his own terms, so should Russia not simply wait for the great trial, but start it when she was ready. He saw his path forward, his decisive mark in history. The warm winds of destiny were at his back, overriding his own doubts as he looked up to the plaque on the wall bearing the 3 Karbashev's theses. Now there would be a 4th. I have a purpose. Miles to go before I sleep. I remember the Trudeau fanfic. Hello there, Sparkle. We'll never forget the Trudeau fanfic, for good or for worse. Yeah. Yeah, like, it's funny because there was a Reagan one that I've heard is pretty good. Because, like, when I try to find something, I'm trying to find something that's, like, at least going to be enjoyable to read or interesting, even if it's biased. Having said that, I have seen the Dutch, like, the thrift store I go to, they have several copies of the Dutch book, the memoir of Reagan that Edmund Morris did, and he did it, you know, and he personally knew Reagan, like, he was in the White House, but he found Reagan so boring that he did, like, this weird Virgil guiding Dante thing, where he inserted himself into the story, and you know what? I don't like it. It's definitely the weakest Edmund Morris I've ever read. So that's why I never get it, even though I could get it for like $4. I never ended up picking it up because I know I'll never read it cover to cover, or even a little. You know, it just doesn't click for me. But there's one that's written by somebody called Peggy Noonan, which is supposed to be interesting because she was like also in the White House. But it's like, you know, it's still his old life. Reagan was hot, sweaty, and ready to tear Gorbachev's wall. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Get the military underground depots. Meowsers, Caesar, meowsers, meowsers. We'll get some water in a sec here, guys. Nuclear reactor output. Yeah, let's do that. Nuclear energy. Wait, why won't it let me research? Okay, weird. Hold on a sec, Caesar. Hey, alright, I'm coming. Hold on. I gotta get some water for myself. Anyway. What is it? What is it? You didn't say there was a missile. Yeah. So what I did find out, though, and it's one of those things like, why did I never look this author up? So one of my favorite biographies that I own is John Marshall's Definer of a Nation by John Edward Smith. Just a fucking phone book, except it's only got one person in it, that being John Marshall. And I found out today that because I was trying to look up, independence for the UAE, gripped in a new wave of instability. Zaid is this longtime ally of Italy. He's a reformist and centralizer. He wants to develop the economy and industry of the young nation, allowing for some democratic reforms while retaining close ties to Italy and her sphere may as well be transformative and stabilizing. Anyway, so the author, John Edward Smith, it's because I was trying to see if there was any good. There was like a few Eisenhower biographies there, but you see, another thing I'm trying to do with all my presidential biographies is I'm trying to find cradle to grave stuff, which is why usually I'm only getting ones of people who are dead, you know, except for Destiny and Power and the Jimmy Carter one. So there was one that was called A Soldier's Life that was there, and it was huge and thick, and hi, William Blowers, good to see you. But I basically was, around military depots. I was, interested in, it, but it didn't go to his, grave. It actually stops, basically with the end of World War II. So there's like 6 years missing before he becomes president, and there's nothing when he's president or after. So it's like, as thick as the book was, it's like, man, I guess somebody like Eisenhower, he's got such a long career that maybe it's difficult to get it into one. But then I found out that John Edward Smith did a single volume biography of Eisenhower, which is supposed to be really good, and a single volume one of FDR, which is also supposed to be real good. Because like I saw another one that when I was flipping through there, I saw one that was come on, there we go. I saw a book dedicated to, not dedicated to. There was an FDR single volume book, which was actually by Conrad Black, whose Nixon biography I have. But it was even though it was fucking thick, it was like over 1,000 pages. Wow. More readouts to make. The wars erupted in Yemen. It speeds through his early life. Like I was just kind of going through it a little bit, and like he's already married to Eleanor on like the 20th page. Just really, really moving quick. And I also looked up some reviews. The reviews weren't glowing on that particular one from him. Although the book certainly was praiseworthy of FDR from what I was getting. Good. Like there's a line in there where he's like basically. There was a line I saw that says, you know, FDR is the most important figure of the 20th century, and there was another line that was like in terms of presidents, he's second only to Lincoln. So like definitely high praise. All right, inspecting the Black Mountain. Drip, drip, drip. Get the feeling this place ain't friendly. Did you hear that? My family lived in Yekaterinburg. People who go here, they do not come back, either researcher or subject. You smell that? Is that rotten meat? Better if you don't describe it at all. Far better. You say so, Alec. Huh. Interesting. So we put some sort of chemical thing over the bunker. Like, I'm actually going to read this. Valerie and Alec watched as the rusted metal gates of the Black Mountain turned inward, its hinges howling the whole way down. Dressed in hazmat suits and gas masks, their breathing seemed to echo in the walls of this place. It was dark, with only their electric lights piercing the gloom. They looked at the walls, the moss that had grown over the concrete, like greenish plaque on an infected tooth. A transparent film formed over it, a liquid that seeped through years of non-maintenance. Drip, drip, drip. The ceilings seemed to perspire, fear of what it had contained. Alec, Valerie said, I get the feeling this place ain't friendly. Friendly. His voice echoed within the vast chambers of the mountain's research complex. Did you hear that? Could you do a pre-recorded run? Hold on. I did. Alex seemed more amazed than afraid of this place, although Valerie saw his left arm tremble. The fingers that held the flashlight were a little unsteady. I've heard the stories. My family lived in Yekaterinburg. People who go in here don't come back, either researcher or subject. Yeah. Brought the meat. Better don't describe it at all if you say so. So we got a bunch of info from the Black Mountain. Gotta do a pre-recorded run of Red Flood, TWR, Millennium Dawn. Probably not Millennium Dawn. I haven't played it in years, but I remember it being quite boring. But probably not. Alright. I really want to hopefully get this war done today, but we have already been going for an hour, and I streamed for quite a bit earlier. So yeah, what was happening between Thailand and Vietnam? Did Cambodia get mangled borders? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Cambodia got a little bit taken out of it. Ah! Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Alright, land doctrine stuff is done. You know what? Do you guys think instead of a Patreon goal, I should just do like a super chat goal instead? What do you think? I guess maybe a super chat goal would be more, what do you call it? Engaging for people directly during a live stream. Order collapses in Egypt, and there's our favorite supermodel rebel. Yep, so Middle East is blowing up. Yeah, Iraq's collapsing into the Civil War. Okay, cool. So did they not? This wasn't how it was always like, right? Wasn't the Iraq Civil War later after the Egypt one? Did they time it now that it's at the same time? That's good if they did. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that. Oil crisis erupts. Nothing good can come of this. Hold on. The music! The music! Cool. Black gold, red sand. Something about destiny. Oh yeah, it's time for Chaos and Dead. Middle East is trying to replicate the fail Hutik inflicted on extra Africa. They're all kind of random when the civil wars start. Alright, let's get a new focus going here. 1 month away from our own war, folks! I imagine Patreon goals will be a more consistent view of supporters where the Super Chat goals are fickle. That's true. That is definitely true. That's why I kind of prefer the Patreon. I've said this before. I prefer people to support me through Patreon and when and if they can. But, you know, also, to be fair to people who haven't done it, I have not really had Super Chat award stuff. But come January, things are going to fucking explode. I've got a lot of things planned. Actually, some stuff that I'm going to work on. Like, I'm gonna take this a little bit further than I thought I would today. Mono River Pact is going to, once again, try to take control of the area. So, Pan Liberation Front. Same ingredients, same methods. But I'm gonna work on, like I think I've talked about, the podcast thing I want to get doing on the other channel. Something that could very well take up all of next year. Or at least half of it. Definitely going to end up taking up at least half. But I got to do some notes first, and like the notes are going to be the key. Just stuff that like create a timeline of the event I'm going to be covering. You know, figure out, all right, these are the people who were involved in this event that I want to talk about, and like what did they do? Like what's the important things on their timeline? Would an attacking Liberia invite American intervention? Well, it's just a Mono River Pact. Like, it's just... They broke with them. Monrovia, their Whig. That's so funny. Look. Whig Party. Paternalist conservatism. Hello there, Tyler. Running on fumes? What? Oh, because, yeah, he just got hit with the oil crisis. Was he able to get the, get rid of, or a new, oh, he's already up to a new dawn. It's morning again in America. Oh, but there must have been a glitch. Is he still hurting for political power? But yeah, it is morning again in America. More men and women will go to work and start new enterprises than ever before in our country's history. Thousands of American children will come of age with bright futures ahead of them. Thousands of American women, yeah, etc., etc., etc. Under the leadership of President Johnson, our country is prouder and stronger and better. We now talk about the American dream without a hint of sarcasm. For the first time in decades, our country has something to believe in, and defeat is just a dying memory. Your friends lost, I'm gonna cry. Oh yeah, that was some time ago. Sorry to be the one to let you know. Okay, let's get the better artillery set up. Gotta do some decisions here. Can't really quite do the readout. Oh, how long have we been able to move to that advanced phase? My bad. 90 days, 270. That and that and that and. We live in a great society. Instead of everywhere else, America's doing great. Well, they've also got the most nukes. They're winning the Cold War, economically speaking. Yeah, Johnson. This is an amazing. This Johnson run has been one of the most amazing AI runs I've ever seen. They're doing very, very good. Except for there seems to be some sort of glitch where a new dawn is actually hurting them. Dewarlization trials. Let's just dump more into the tanks, I guess. Okay, in like 3 days we're gonna be able to start the war, or start preparing for the war. Oh shit, this music's back on. Sorry. Did they get Hawaii? Oh yeah. Angolan Civil War. Time for people to start screaming the Black Ops 2 thing. Prepare for the Unification War. Let's see here. We're wanting to do 120-day thing, 75-day thing. Oh, here's another. Wait, no. 70 days. 40. 45, there we go. But this should be quite easy. This war, I think. I look at 3.5 million men in reserve. Freaking awesome. There goes Liberia. Pan-African Union, real strong. Alright, trial 90 or 59. You're aware of the illegitimacy of the government and the disunity is caused to the people of Russia. I was merely an officiary. I was not involved in the war. I immediately offered them. We have no further need of you. Your systems has been rather. Please remove these men. I wasn't anyone, so we lose manpower, but we gain political power. And in the end, it was not what matters most. The USA interventions are justified in the TNO universe. You cannot change my mind. Oh yeah, I don't have the command power to keep building more readouts. Voroshilov, Zhukov, Tukhachevsky, generals of the West-Russian Revolutionary Front are admirable as are their soldiers. They fought for decades after others turned traitor. Despite misguided beliefs, they should be venerated. Soldiers and generals given amnesty. He'd use men like these for the great trial once they've been properly rechained. Are we gonna be able to use Tukhachevsky and Zhukov? What? That's cool. Fate of the Pretenders. Status quo has prevailed in Egypt as expected. Happening across the territories, justice is being served in the Russian anarchy. So, yeah, basically we're doing some mass executions of the Nazi LARPers. No mercy will show to any single man who held a rifle, and their treasonous act of Teutonic appeasement was to have their life taken. Yeah. Alright, come on. More command power. Get to 20 so I can then hit this one. Of course. Whew. And no one wept, yeah. No, someone save the heckin' Nazi bros. I did once see something where it was under some like Yugoslavian partisan song. you know, from World War II, and somebody commented something just the effect of like, you know, me and the boys after throwing our enemies down a mine shaft or whatever, and then Sue's going like, you know, all you're doing is encouraging violence and you're no better than them. And it was just like, and I kind of got what they were saying, but still it was like, no, you can't kill the wholesome Nazi bros. That's a heckin' violence and not tolerant. Hey Caesar. Caesar was going, what the heck is going on in here? Another bro moment. Yeah, it just reminds me of one of my favorite comics I ever saw on the internet, and I've never been able to find it again. But it's like you know, you just see it. It's just a bunch of soldiers landing on D-Day, and then there's a guy behind a machine gun, and you know he's trying to mow them all down. He's turning to his comrade, or you know his calling the Nazis. Yeah, but you know his fellow soldier in the Wehrmacht, and going, so much for the tolerant left. Soldiers of Russia, you fought proudly in the defense of your homes and families. Fight with us in the set dedication you've already shown. Recite the oath of the Black League. So yeah, we just got a bunch of former Red Army soldiers. Reintegrate the armies. Good. Buff that soft attack when and where we can. I can't hear you over the sound of the Nazi skulls being crushed. I've said Nazi so much, I'm definitely getting demonetized for this video. Yeah, I can't hear you over the sound of me cutting them all down. So let's see, Ustinov becomes a field marshal, Yepeshev becomes a general. We will help the Black League restore the full glory of Russia. He was glad he did not have to shoot them. So I guess probably, I'm willing to bet, wait, wasn't there something earlier that said what happened to Zhukov and Tukhachevsky? Didn't they flee or something? Okay, so we're going to integrate the armies, and it's going to switch us to, wait, Ad Dawa? The Shias won in Iraq. He mobilized the Shia majority population upon the platform of ethnic and religious tolerance. Spiritual leader Ayatollah Abu al-Qassam al-Khoi gave a concise speech in Baghdad where he reaffirmed the party's intentions to rule in harmony with all of Iraq's population. Based on a semi-democratic political system promoting Islamic values and ethics, Ad-Dawa was incredibly popular among Iraq's Shiite population, a popularity which only grew as al-Khoi assumed leadership and called for a democratic and tolerant Islamic government, while more hardline voices wondered just how tolerance might contain the very real threat of nationalism, and Iraq's Sunni population braces for waves of discrimination. Al-Khoi has not balked away from the challenges, but assured a rightful and just government benefiting all Iraqis. Let us wait and hope for the best. Wow! Shia Iraq! I don't think I've ever seen this before. Well, hell's bells. They have Japanese advisors? Japanese are backing them. Huh. Very interesting. Very, interesting. Huh. Okay, integration of the armies. We haven't been using all our strength. Read this host in my secret and other guys. So this is gonna change the women's law to non-combat only. What was my women's law before? Oh, military assistance. Ranks are being filled with women as well as men. So before we were military assistants, but so by the Rosie the Riveter, I think that this means women were being used in the industrial section. But now they're non-combat, so I guess they could be medics. Interesting. So this puts our stability down by 1%, and then our war support by 2%. Like this could be the net, but we're gonna get 20% recruitable population factor. Very good. For this oath by my sacred motherland. Let's see here. So I've had this concept. I could totally understand if nobody ever wants to code it, but like maybe if you're integrating women in the game into your combat, or even in a non-combat role. Actually, no, make it only combat. But like, you could have something where birth rate lowers, like the monthly population growth, and it would only be very small. But it's because like, so the reason I think I first came up with this idea was actually from the book World War Z, because there was a character. She was a woman who was in the army. And she's telling her story about, fighting the zombies. But then she talks about how she eventually gets pulled from military duty because, like, most of the population in the world got zombified or killed. So they were saying, like, it's much more important for you to, not die and give birth to children for the future of the human race. So, like, she also talks about how, like, she gets treated specially. Like, basically her life is subsidized by the government. Of course, there's like a dark side to it. Like, she doesn't actually know who the father of her children are, so I'm guessing it's like artificial insemination is going on. That's how I understood it. And, like, they're just kind of implanting the shit in her. Anyway, but unlike, like, let's say, okay, like I'm just saying is, like, let's say you had a society. Let's do the math really simple. Let's say you had a society with 10 women and 10 men. Then you can, in theory, maybe have 10 kids a year. And if half of the men die, you could still have 10 kids a year because, the women are the one who carry the babies. But it's like, if the women started to die, then that's lowering how many could possibly be born at a time. So I thought that would be something really interesting in this, like, because, like, let's face it, this is dystopian bordering on apocalyptic settling whenever you're in Russia. So it's like, if one of the Russian warlords starts putting women in their ranks, it should do something like, monthly population growth minus 2% or whatever. It would just be like an interesting concept. Fleshing out the world. Yeah, basically Paraguay. Yeah, exactly. I was actually talking about the Paraguay situation with some family over Christmas. I'm trying to remember how it came in. I think we were just talking about like urban legends or something, and because like I remember first hearing about the Paraguay thing. I think it was a couple of years ago. That it's like, oh yeah, the Pope gave permission. Russia shall be avenged! Every soldier slaughtered, every mother murdered of the Teutons, every child tossed into the inferno. We are going to avenge them. They will be avenged 1,000-fold. The Huns will die screaming, ruling the day they laid hands upon our people. Excuse me. Oh, wait. Not quite. One more to go. But, let's assemble the next readout. And, so I remember when I first heard about that, I was like, the Pope gave permission for polygamy? So I looked into it. And I spent like half an hour trying to look it up, and I couldn't find anything that like showed it at all, that there was some sort of papal dispensation saying it was okay. Yeah, exactly, Tenprey. Yeah, because like that would be the cost benefit. It's like, we're gonna put the women in the army because it increases our numbers, but long term, it's not great. So, yeah, Alex Soner, sounds like you're having a nice vacation. Hitting the Carrillo National Monument. Very cool. But you mean Cabrillo? I think you put a R in there. But yeah, it was just like, I was just saying, like, I'll tell you what definitely happened in Peru, or like I'm almost certain. A lot of the men died, and so the society kind of became polyamorous. So it's like, but then the kids are like, or the grandkids are like, Dad or Grandpa, it's like, or like, Dad, we're Catholic, but why do you have 4 wives? And it's like, oh, the Pope said so, son. Go on and play. You've never heard that Pope story? Oh, I've heard it so much, but like whenever I try to look it up, like I'll look it up right now. Pope Paraguay. Multiple wives, I guess. Okay, no, I'm just getting a bunch of news stories about the last time the Pope visited Paraguay. Alright, let's try Pope allows polygamy in Paraguay or something. I really should be looking this up on, like... God. Finding really, it's suggesting me fucking Reddit threads. Oh, finally, the Reddit thing is like somebody saying, "Hey, I'm trying to find information on this," and the rest of the looks like the thread got deleted. So, all right, I'm looking it up. Okay, wait. I just found... Okay, I found something. It's called the economics of polygamy. Polygamy can take the form of polyandry or polygyny. The latter is more common. Okay, it's just talking about how sub-Saharan Africa and Muslim would often... countries often allow it. Established correspondence between theory and facts around the world. Focus on plural marriage. Okay, so what's this person's theory? What are factors promoting plural marriage? Consider n identical men, n identical women. A marriage market will be constructed. If no woman will accept a marital income of less than Z, her income when single. Hence, the supply curve is horizontal at that level up to n, where there are no more women available for marriage, and the supply becomes vertical. Highest payment men are willing to transfer to women in order to entice them to marry, as additional income men would experience if they marry one wife instead of remaining single, where Z denotes marital income. Okay, so what I'm getting here is this person is basically, their theory is, if you void all outside factors, if you just strictly look at the economics, people are more, I think he's arguing, you're more likely to marry somebody who's going to increase your income, because, you don't want to get married if it's going to cost you money. And ideally, you want to make, you want the whole to be greater, the sum to be greater than the parts. So, bigamy extends demand for women. You know what, this is a 30-page scientific paper. I'm going to have to look at it some other times. But is Paraguay going to get mentioned? Paraguay. I'm just control-Fing it. Here we go. Dramatic demonstration of sex ratio effect on polygyny occurred in Paraguay in the 19th century. Paraguay overruled the prohibition against polygyny. It's just literally one sentence. And that says that the country allowed it. It doesn't say the Pope did. Let's see here. And meth. Alright. But yeah, I'm sure that the Pope thing came from... Dad, why do I have 4 moms even though we're Catholic? The Pope said so. Now, run along. Alright, we're marching on. We're gonna reunify. Privateers, what's the purpose of your visit? Your talents are required. I want you to take a look at the last picture. Never forget what we take. So we're like drafting people in. It looks like we're taking potential hostages, or we got blackmail, and we're taking Yeroniv and Druzhiniv as our naval commanders here. Surely the priests would have informed the bishops and the Pope would find out how bad it was in Paraguay, yeah. Let's see, the clock is winding down. Yeah, the Great Trial event. Okay, we already read this, yeah. Alright, is this fucking war gonna start or what? What is the deal, man? Alright, we're at 35%. We're about to get another 10%. That's gonna put us to 45. This is gonna put us to 55. This is gonna get us to 75. But we have to exceed 75. Need the doggone command. You know what? Fuck this. Let's just go. Let's go, baby. Let's see here. All right, research time. Dang it! When did that get fucking filled? Sablin's getting freedom guns and missiles from Uncle Johnson. He very well might be. And Bucharest economy, stage 2. People are migrating in. He's done international outreach. How big's his army? His army's still not big enough. He's not going to be able to deal with us. Okay. Alright, nice to see how many people are watching today. Hope you all are enjoying yourselves. Oh, to finish something I think that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, so that's John Edward Smith, basically, yeah, author of one of my favorite biographies. Turns out that he's done single-volume biographies of two presidents I don't have single-volume biographies of, those being FDR and Eisenhower. So I definitely want to check that out, see if I can find some cheap version of that sometime. Triple Alliance of War of Paraguay was gigantic disaster, still the bloodiest conflict in Americas. Yeah, I think it was second only to the United States Civil War. Last war, here we go. Here we go. Oh wait, not yet. Bah, bah. Let me get the signal companies. Nah. I think we're behind on infantry upgrades. Yep, here we go. It shouldn't take 200 days now to get those last two upgrades. Constantine's reign was a continuation of Diocletian's. Well, except that he wasn't doing the Tetrarchy, but I can understand what you're trying to say. In terms of some of the other reforms, yes. The trend towards moving east. I actually recently listened to a couple of episodes of... I didn't start it, because there's other things I want to be listening to right now, but I was just curious about it. I listened to the first few episodes of the History of Byzantium podcast, which the guy who made it intended it as like a direct sequel to the History of Rome podcast. But he has this introductory video, or like an introductory episode. It's like 16 minutes long, where he just does like a recap, and then he had his original introductory one where he was basically saying, so yeah, I've done a lot of different podcasts, but like on different things. We're gonna get rid of the debug smooth thing now, because this is gonna be awful, I think, to deal with. All right, there goes Iran. This should be a pretty easy fight. We don't need to micro it, but let's see, debug, smooth. Is the mod updated for No Step Back? No. Casardus TV, not quite yet. There we go. And now we're good. Now we're cooking. Yeah, it's no problem at all. Got air wings that haven't been assigned stuff. Whatever. Okay. But yeah, he was just a guy, like, he didn't have a history background, I think, or like, maybe, or did he? But yeah, the whole thing was, he's like, I've done a few podcasts before, and I think, you know, somebody ought to take the podcast forward into the Eastern Roman Empire, so I'm gonna try to do this. And he's like, you can tell in the first episode, he's like so cautious. He's like, I'm trying to do some reading, I'm gonna try to get the first episode up in like a month. It's cool though. Because now, let me look it up. He's deep. He's like at the siege of Edessa now during the Crusades. Byzantium podcast. Yeah, historyofbyzantium.com. But he's on now episode 235, which he just put out a couple days ago. So he's in the year 1150, the years 1152 to 1158. Yeah. Dang, maybe I need to learn how to like get my own website for do a podcast. You know, one thing at a time. Let's get those episodes out first, then the Patreon bucks. Revolutionary War in 1910. Let me check too. Mexican Revolution casualties. I think the thing with the Mexican Revolution, it might be difficult to track because it's like the Cristeros thing. It's like, oh, it was a couple hundred people who died towards hundreds of thousands. Oh yeah, I'm seeing here like millions of losses. Let's see, but look at the Chaco War also. Chaco War was bad, but no. Let's see here. Let's look at the War of the Triple Alliance. Well, I think you're right, Tin. It's the Mexican Revolution is deadlier. I might be thinking of numbers in the 19th century. Alexander says, I got my master's in anthropology. My thesis was in traditional faith healing in Louisiana. The Cajun traditions are kind of like curanderos. That's what my thesis was on. Very interesting. Theses are so cool, like sometimes, because like they're really niche stuff. But yeah, obviously the person has been spending time with it, so it's cool. I actually have a couple of theses in my apartment. Don't ask how I got either of them. But one is on. I'm actually not going to talk about what one of them's on because I'm going to be citing it for this upcoming podcast idea I'm working on. Which yeah, that's what I'm going to be spending the rest of my night doing here after we win this war. Is making notes for that. Hi there, Pro King. But the other one I have is basically about. It's actually not that great. It's about when JFK visited El Paso. Here's 130 pages long. Yeah, it's a thesis. I always tell people like when you hear thesis, it's like when somebody says I'm working on my thesis, what they're saying is I'm writing a book. Oh wow, the Imperial State lost, and the others aren't. The Alliance didn't break down. They just walked right over the Imperials. So what happens now? Like surely the Alliance will still break down. And they fight each other. It can't just look like this. Or will there be a peaceful decision on who gets to be in charge? Like I have no idea what the hell's going on here. Whoop. Yeah, and also another thing, Necrosoph, is the Mexican Revolution is very much a civil war, and civil wars are always nastier. I was going through some presidential stuff recently, and there's this Zachary Taylor quote where he was basically saying, I don't remember which state it was, but some of them were threatening to like raise a militia. You know the whole. It's like the nullification crisis with South Carolina's like, you can't force me to do this, Andrew Jackson. And Jackson goes, want to bet? And anyway, but there's a. Yeah, he's basically saying like, if anybody rises up, I will hang the traitors. Much more swiftly and with fuck, what was the quote? But he was God, I should have written the quote down. But yeah, it's basically Zachary Taylor saying like, I will hang anybody who turns treason against the United States, and I'll do it far more willingly than I hanged deserters during the war. Yeah, because there's something about Civil War, and this is one of the things I definitely want to do at some point is read front cover to cover the Logic of Civil War book. But it's like, to use Franco for, there's something about with Civil Wars where it's like you don't even think of that other side as your countrymen anymore. In fact, they're the greatest threat that has ever existed to your countrymen. And Franco had this quote at the end of his life where, like, it was like his last will and testament, so he had it read after he died, where he's like kind of saying, like, you know, I abhor violence. All I did was try to protect Spain. And it's like, yeah, your country has the second, yeah, Spain now has the second biggest amount of mass graves in the world of a country, except for Cambodia. But yeah, you were a real hippie, bro. In fact, let me go grab my Franco biography. I think that I'm pretty damn sure the quote's in. Okay. Let's see here. So I got the Paul Preston Franco biography in my hands. Full transformation. Most cherished ambition. Is it not in here? No, this is after he died. Oh, here's another great quote. Somebody said, "The highest interest of Franco is Franco. The highest interest of de Gaulle is France." Kind of show the difference between them. Damn, where's that quote? Here's another one of my books. Pensions from the state. Here we go. Yeah, so this was his last testament. This is not the full quote, but he calls himself... There we go, the Iranian Revolutionary Alliance just collapsed. I knew it was eventually going to happen. That's a great quote, yeah. But of course, what is France? What France was de Gaulle talking about? But anyway, so... This is not the full quote, but yeah, basically his final testament was... I am a faithful son of the Church who wanted to live and die as a Catholic. I beg forgiveness of everyone, just as with all my heart I forgive those who declared themselves my enemies, even though I never thought of them as such. I believe that I had no enemies other than the enemies of Spain. And then he warned, do not forget that the enemies of Spain and of Christian civilization are on the alert. Yeah, it's like... fucking... I built monuments over the bodies of those I defeated, that they built with their slave labor. But it's like, I never thought of them as my enemies. They just wanted to hurt Spain. Anyway, yeah. It's what a that's... Alright, construction is complete. He didn't even know if the bunkers would work, yet he claimed all assembled their security was guaranteed forevermore. What a joke he played on all of them. On himself and thinking he could stop the inevitable. He was nothing, just the shadow of Karbashev, a pretender playing the savior for all to see. Yeah. Network. So, Omsk Oblast shall be rendered impervious to nuclear attack. Nice. Alright, and I think that's it. We're done with this tree. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, but for those of you who don't know, let me, I'll read to you what he died of. I'm sure it didn't feel good. If that'll make you feel better. Right, President Ford, he was having trouble sleeping. Yeah, basically he was suffering for like months and they kept trying to keep him alive and it was just fucking terrible. Yeah, and even when they finally disconnected his life support, like at the insistence of his daughter. So they removed him from life support at 11:15, and he didn't die until 5:25 the next morning. So a little over 6 hours straight more of suffering. Official cause: endotoxic shock brought about by acute bacterial peritonitis, renal failure, bronchopneumonia, cardiac arrest, stomach ulcers, thrombophlebitis, and Parkinson's disease. Love that makes you feel better. You know, I've always said I don't take too many political views on this channel, but you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Franco was one bad hombre. That's like, what was that? Like 7 different things I read that he died of. That's a straight up that was some like gypsy whose dad he killed, put the curse on him, you know. The slow acting. But really, that Paul Preston, the Franco biography is good. Paul Preston's a really good author. Like, he certainly has his biases, as everybody does. Let's see. Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? You know, the best, this is going to sound like I'm weirdly complimenting myself, but the best usage of somebody saying the sold, it's like so something so controversial and so brave, was when I was first learning about Equestria at War. I went onto the Discord, and oh, that was dumb. I didn't need to do that. I didn't have to take that decision. Franco was better than the Stalinists who would have ruled Spain if he had lost. I wasn't talking about the Stalinists. Guess what? More than one person can be bad. Geez, that's like saying, it's like, you know, Stalin was pretty bad, so Hitler should have won World War II. Yeah, what the fuck? That's not what I'm saying here. But, what the heck was I just saying? Oh, the controversial brave thing. Yeah, so I was first learning like what Equestria War was. This was years ago, and people were surprised I was there because nobody was playing Equestria at War. I think I was the first person on YouTube to play it. Well, except for one person who didn't really play it. They just mocked it. And they're like, "What the fuck? You want to play our game?" And I said, "Yeah, tell me about it. That's interesting." And I was I had a conversation with some of the devs and stuff, and it was like, it wasn't in the DMs, it was in the public part of the Discord. And at the end of the conversation, because I had to go, I like just decided to pull the pin on a grenade and throw it into the conversation, where I just said, "Oh, by the way," and I posted a wallpaper picture of a Rainbow Dash. And I went, oh wait, no, that's not the controversial brave quote part. But yeah, I posted a picture of a Rainbow Dash, and I said, "Rainbow Dash, best pony," and that started bickering. But before that, I think somebody had said something like, you know, "Why are you in it? Why are you okay with this?" And I said, I was basically saying, like, I like My Little Pony. It's funny, it's artistic, it's you know, it's got character development. And yeah, I was just expressing his positives, and then I said, I would rather watch 10 hours of My Little Pony than a season of this fucking Game of Thrones show, which was still on at the time and still popular. I know everybody, I sure heard enough on the internet and through friends that it got real bad at the end, but I had stopped watching after season 5. Yeah, so I'm like, I'd watch 10 hours of My Little Pony over 10 hours of Game of Thrones, because that would be a better 10 hours. And then you're like, why would you say something so controversial and so brave? Like, that was, and again, it sounds like I'm complimenting myself, but I really felt like that was a good use of it. Besides the original, where Eric Andre was messing with that guy, because isn't the quote that he's referring to, it was like, I think it was a made-up quote, but he's telling his guests, like, we have here a tweet that has you saying that it was something like racist against Asians. I don't even remember what. And of course it wasn't real. The guy's like, I didn't tweet that. And he's like, no, but why would you say something so controversial and so brave? Ah, my debt! Oh, it's the dad doggone military expenditures. Let's see here. Someone made a Genshin Impact Mac, posted it in Hearts of Fire 4 modding, read it, and then got bullied. I've never played Genshin Impact. It's like a gacha game, right? Where you can like spend money on it, but it's like open world, isn't it? Or I might be mixing it up with something else, but one of those gacha games, it was supposed to be like, oh, it's the free version of Breath of the Wild. Right? Or something. It's like Breath of the Wild, but with less waifus, am I right? Talking about that sexy Link. Sexy femboy Link. When the friggin' Breath of the Wild, one of the great LGBT pieces of entertainment in the last 10 years, by choosing to make its male main character the best girl. No, there's some good waifus. But really though, it's like Genshin waifu with less waifus, because there's so many waifus in Breath of the Wild. Real tragedy of the Spanish Civil War was that Spain lost the purple on their flag. You know, I was just thinking about that yesterday with like what was that, the Congo dictator Mobutu. It's like, you know, controversial figure, let's say, but one of the greatest flags of all time. Let's see here. Breath of the Wild with more Shotas, Eichmann, and women. Eichmann? What's an Eichmann? Looking this up. Urban Dictionary. Okay, it's probably not meaning the concentration camp. Eichmann can also refer to somebody who likes Eisenhower. Or Ikemen. Portmanteau neologism deriving from the words ikiru and menzu, meaning ikiru meaning cool, good, and exciting, menzu meaning men, references good-looking men in Japanese pop culture, typically characterized as being sharply dressed individuals with slanted, intelligent eyes, husky voices, slender wrists and fingers. That's very specific. A manly build, an unruffled appearance, pale skin, and a clean smelling with an air of Miss Marie Rowden. It's supposed to say clean smell, not smelling. Eichmann are typically reserved with the ability to become passionate in their interests, with the impression that they are literary geniuses. So it's like looking in a mirror. Alright, uh-oh. Did I accidentally close the monitor with I think I closed the tab that had the live chat on. No, here it is. Eisenhower's in Genshin Impact? Whoa. Okay, so we just got a lot of stuff here. Get these convoys going. TNO gotcha win. Alright, so I think we're going to end the stream for the day. Let's get integrating all the things. And I think we just still haven't been allowed to go after Kazakhstan because the war doesn't end. I think somebody's right. It must be bugged. I think they're probably just frozen. Like, I bet if we looked here at the war... Yeah, the casualties are exactly the same. They've been stuck. Nightmare Alley was disturbing. I can't believe something like a geek used to exist. Alright, so, anyway, yeah, we're going to end it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on today's 2 streams. Yeah, it was really nice to have that sudden day off, especially because I think I talked about this in my first stream, but, there was something, I guess, happened with the Amazon deliveries because I didn't deliver Amazon on Sundays. I didn't, not being able to invade Kazakhstan is not a bug. Starts playing the Kazakhstan national anthem, Forever Free! But there was oh, you know what? Wait. Let's do the Reunify the Motherland. Let's cut the music. But yeah, basically, I didn't deliver Amazon on Sundays, which I always do. So that was like the first Sunday I didn't deliver Amazon, like in a year, probably. Then there was, for some reason, it didn't get delivered to the station yesterday either. So I was like so fucking afraid of today. Like, it was going to be absolute hell. Like, it was going to be hernia roulette today, because that meant that we were going to be delivering stuff for Christmas. So like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And, you know, it was probably going to... So it's like... And then the Tuesday, of course, because today's Tuesday. So 4 days worth of Amazon deliveries. Plus, you got to count that, you know, people probably got gift cards and were ordering shit online on Christmas Day. So that's backing up also. And then my boss this morning said, no, actually, you don't come in today. And it's like, if you fucking say so, bro. Like, I don't want to hear you crying tomorrow about how rough it was today, because I was there. I wasn't there. But... Let's hit the Reunify the Motherland, and hold on, and also fund all this, and yeah, get these super events. So, you know, this would be a good place to stop it. We might do more, but I guess you can almost consider this the finale. After the German pillagers have shattered the motherland, what parts of Russia that have not fallen under the German yoke directly have shattered into a mass of disorderly warlords? However, our history teaches us that we are stronger when unified, and it is only when unified that we have a chance of standing against any enemies. It is necessary. The motherland must rise again. Oh, our max credit rating will be raised. Alright. The Black League marches on. In less than half a century, Russia has fallen to German invaders twice. But today, as Dmitry Timofeyevich Yazov took stage in Omsk before an audience of tens of thousands, the newly unified nation's message to the world rang out in the chants of Russian soldiers. Never again! Yazov has traversed a long and turbulent road to reach this point, and now millions of Russians now hail him as their Glavkor Verka, their supreme commander. Since the death of his mentor Dmitry Karbyshev, Yazov has ruthlessly enforced his Darwinian vision on Russia. And while his new state's future plans are unknown, it is not hard to judge its aims when one considers his regime's new name. The Russian National Reclamation Government. From Chukotka to the Volga, the earth trembles and the skies thunder with the tramp of footsteps and the pounding of drums. A black shadow has settled across Russia. Lamps are going out all over Eurasia, and we shall not see them lit again in our lifetime. Hatred of the invading enemy is a most humane feeling, but it is born with such a pain of heart and torment of the soul that God forbid anyone to experience it a second time. Pavel Betov. The end begins. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Alright, so there might be more streams of this, you know, because we're supposed to be able to now start doing, going after Germany stuff, right? I think so. But this very well could be the finale. Again, thank you for everybody who stuck around for this series. And I will, see you all next time, whenever I stream. Bye-bye.